David De Gea back to Manchester United? The shocking return that could change everything. Welcome back to Unite United News, your most trusted source for breaking football stories and honest analysis. When transfer rumors shake the football world, we dig deep to bring you the real story behind the headlines. Today we're talking about a potential return that has Manchester United fans buzzing with excitement and disbelief. The story that has everyone talking. Could David De Gea really return to Manchester United? After leaving Old Trafford just over a year ago, the Spanish goalkeeper might be coming home in one of the most surprising transfer stories of the season. This isn't just another transfer rumor. This is about a club legend potentially reuniting with the team that made him famous. But why would United want him back after already replacing him? And what does this mean for current goalkeeper Andre Onana? Let's dive into this fascinating story that could reshape Manchester United's goalkeeping situation and answer all the questions that United fans are asking right now. Setting the stage. How we got here. To understand why this potential return is so shocking, we need to look back at how David De Gea left Manchester United in the first place. After 12 incredible years at Old Trafford, making 545 appearances and becoming one of the club's greatest ever goalkeepers, De Gea's time at United came to an end in summer 2023. The club decided not to renew his contract, choosing instead to bring in Andre Onana from Inter Milan. It wasn't a bitter departure, but it was still emotional for a player who had given his best years to the club. De Gea spent an entire year without a club, staying fit and waiting for the right opportunity. Many fans wondered if they would ever see their hero play again. Then came Fiorentina. The Italian club offered De Gea a chance to restart his career in Serie A. He grabbed the opportunity with both hands and showed everyone that he was far from finished as a top-level goalkeeper. The Fiorentina chapter, proving he still has it. David De Gea's move to Fiorentina was perfect timing for both player and club. After a year away from football, many people wondered if the Spanish goalkeeper could still perform at the highest level. Those doubts were quickly put to rest. In 42 appearances for Fiorentina last season, De Gea showed that his shot-stopping ability and commanding presence were still world-class. He helped the Italian club in both domestic and European competitions, proving that his break from football had not dulled his skills. The move to Serie A also gave De Gea something he had been missing: regular first-team football and the chance to enjoy his game again. Without the intense pressure that comes with playing for Manchester United, he was able to rediscover his love for the sport. His performances caught the attention of football fans across Europe, including those back in Manchester who had never stopped loving their former number one. The Old Trafford return. A moment that started everything. The turning point in this story came during pre-season when Fiorentina visited Old Trafford for a friendly match against Manchester United. For De Gea, this was more than just another game. It was an emotional homecoming. The match ended 1-1, but the score was not what anyone was talking about afterward. Instead, all eyes were on how De Gea performed against his former club and how the Old Trafford crowd received him. The Spanish goalkeeper put in an impressive display, making several important saves and showing United fans exactly what they had been missing. His performance was a reminder of the quality that had made him one of the Premier League's best goalkeepers for over a decade. But it wasn't just his performance on the pitch that caught attention. The way United's coaching staff and management watched him closely during the game sparked rumors about a possible return. De Gea's emotional message. Hints of a return. After the friendly at Old Trafford, David De Gea posted a heartfelt message on social media that got Manchester United fans dreaming about a reunion. He wrote, "A magical moment for me and my family to come back to Old Trafford, my home. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for the reception, for all the love you showed me, to the supporters that never stopped being with me throughout my time at this club. Our paths may cross again." Those final words, "our paths may cross again," sent social media into overdrive. Was De Gea hinting at a possible return? Was this just an emotional message from a former player, or something more meaningful? United fans began analyzing every word, every pause, every hint that their beloved goalkeeper might be coming home. The message felt like more than just a thank you, it felt like a promise. What's really happening behind the scenes? According to reports from The Sun, Manchester United are seriously considering bringing David De Gea back to Old Trafford. This isn't just media speculation. There are apparently real discussions taking place behind closed doors. The report suggests that United officials have been making what they call discreet background calls about the possibility of re-signing their former goalkeeper. These aren't public negotiations, but quiet conversations to explore whether a deal could work for everyone involved. What makes this even more interesting is the claim that De Gea has a clause in his Fiorentina contract that would allow him to leave for a relatively small fee. This means that if United really want him back, the financial side of the deal wouldn't be a major obstacle. The timing of these discussions is also significant. They come at a time when questions are being asked about Andre Onana's future at the club and Manchester United's overall goalkeeping situation. The Andre Onana factor. What this means for United's current number one. Any discussion about David De Gea returning to Manchester United must address the elephant in the room. What would happen to Andre Onana? Onana was brought to United as De Gea's replacement, with the club paying a significant fee to Inter Milan for his services. The Cameroon international was supposed to be the future of United's goalkeeping position, bringing modern ball-playing skills to complement his shot-stopping ability. However, Onana's first season at United was mixed. While he showed moments of brilliance, there were also some high-profile mistakes that cost the team important points. Some fans and critics questioned whether he was really an upgrade on De Gea. If United were to bring De Gea back, it would create an interesting situation. Would the Spaniard return as number one, pushing Onana to the bench? Would they compete for the starting position? Or could Onana be sold to make room for De Gea's return? These are the questions that make this potential transfer so complex and fascinating. The financial reality. Can United afford this move? One of the most practical questions about a potential De Gea return is whether Manchester United can afford to bring him back while still having Andre Onana on their books. Goalkeepers are expensive, and having two top-level shot stoppers on high wages is not something many clubs can manage financially. United would need to carefully consider whether the benefits of bringing De Gea back outweigh the costs involved. The reported clause in De Gea's Fiorentina contract could help make the deal more affordable. If United can sign him for a relatively small fee, it reduces the financial risk of the move. However, De Gea's wages would still need to be considered. As a world-class goalkeeper with proven Premier League experience, he would likely command a significant salary. United would need to balance this against their other financial commitments and transfer priorities. Fan reactions. Divided opinions on a controversial return. Manchester United fans are split on the possibility of David De Gea returning to Old Trafford. Some are thrilled at the prospect of their favorite goalkeeper coming home, while others question whether it's the right move for the club. Supporters who want De Gea back point to his incredible record at the club and his proven ability in the Premier League. They argue that he never should have been allowed to leave in the first place and that bringing him back would correct a mistake. These fans remember De Gea's greatest moments, his penalty saves, his crucial stops in big matches, and his loyalty to the club during difficult periods. They believe that experience and proven quality should always be valued. On the other side, some fans believe that United should stick with Andre Onana and trust in their original plan. They argue that constantly changing goalkeepers creates instability and that the club needs to show faith in their current number one. This group points out that moving backward is rarely the answer and that United should be looking forward, not backward, when it comes to their squad building. What the experts are saying. Football analysts and former players have offered mixed opinions on the possibility of David De Gea returning to Manchester United. Some experts believe it could be a smart move, arguing that De Gea's experience and proven track record in the Premier League make him a valuable option for United. They point to his recent form at Fiorentina as evidence that he still has a lot to offer. Others question whether bringing back a goalkeeper who was already replaced makes sense from a sporting perspective. They argue that it could send the wrong message about the club's long-term planning and decision-making. Former United players have generally been supportive of the idea, with many expressing their belief that De Gea was let go too early and deserves another chance at Old Trafford. The manager's dilemma. What would Erik ten Hag do? If this transfer rumors proves to be true, it would create an interesting dilemma for Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim. Ten Hag was the manager who decided to move on from De Gea and bring in Onana, believing that the Cameroon international's ball-playing abilities better suited his tactical approach. Having De Gea return would force him to reconsider his goalkeeping philosophy. Would Ten Hag be willing to admit that his original decision was wrong? Would he find a way to use both goalkeepers effectively? Or would he resist any move to bring De Gea back? The Dutch manager's response to these rumors could tell us a lot about how serious United's interest really is. Comparing the options, De Gea versus Onana. To understand why United might want De Gea back, it's worth comparing what each goalkeeper brings to the team. David De Gea's strengths include his world-class shot-stopping ability, his experience in big matches, his knowledge of the Premier League, and his connection with United fans. He has proven himself over many years and knows what it takes to succeed at Old Trafford. Andre Onana's advantages include his superior distribution and ball-playing skills, his experience in European competitions with different clubs, and his potential to improve further. He represents a more modern approach to goalkeeping that many top clubs prefer. The question for United is which set of qualities is more important for their current needs and future ambitions. The emotional factor, more than just football. Any discussion about David De Gea returning to Manchester United goes beyond just football ability and tactics. There's a strong emotional element to consider. De Gea spent the best years of his career at Old Trafford, growing from a young goalkeeper with potential into one of the world's best. He experienced the club's highest highs and lowest lows, always remaining loyal and professional. For many United fans, De Gea represents a connection to the club's recent history and tradition. Bringing him back would be seen as honoring that connection and showing respect for what he contributed to the club. This emotional factor could be just as important as any tactical consideration in determining whether this transfer happens. What would success look like? If David De Gea does return to Manchester United, what would constitute a successful comeback? Success would likely mean helping United improve their defensive stability and providing the experience and leadership that the team sometimes lacks. De Gea would need to show that his time at Fiorentina has refreshed him and that he can still perform at the highest level. For the move to work, De Gea would also need to fit into the team's current tactical setup and work well with the defenders in front of him. Chemistry with the backline is crucial for any goalkeeper's success. Most importantly, a successful return would need to contribute to United's overall progress as a team, helping them compete for trophies and achieve their ambitions. The risks involved. Like any transfer, bringing David De Gea back to Manchester United would involve certain risks that the club would need to consider carefully. The biggest risk might be the message it sends about the club's decision-making. Bringing back a player who was recently let go could be seen as admitting a mistake and might raise questions about the club's long-term planning. There's also the risk that De Gea might not be able to recapture his best form or adapt to any changes in the team's playing style since he left. Players don't always successfully return to former clubs, especially after time away. The impact on squad harmony is another consideration. How would other players, particularly Andre Onana, react to De Gea's return? Managing these relationships would be crucial for team unity. Learning from other comebacks. Football history is full of players who have successfully returned to former clubs, as well as those whose comebacks didn't work out as planned. Successful returns often happen when both the player and club have changed and grown during their time apart. The best comeback stories involve players who bring new experiences and renewed motivation to their former teams. Failed returns usually occur when either the player or club expects things to be exactly as they were before. Football moves quickly, and successful reunions require adaptation from everyone involved. De Gea and United would need to learn from these examples to make any potential reunion work. The bigger picture, United's long-term strategy. Any decision about David De Gea must fit into Manchester United's broader strategy for squad building and development. If United see themselves as a club that values experience and proven quality, then bringing back De Gea makes sense. It shows that they prioritize success over any concerns about admitting previous mistakes. However, if United want to be seen as a forward-thinking club that backs their decisions and gives players time to develop, then sticking with Onana might be the better choice. The decision could reveal a lot about how United's leadership views the club's identity and priorities. What happens next? As this story continues to develop, there are several things to watch for that will tell us how serious United's interest really is. First, look for any official statements from either Manchester United or David De Gea's representatives. So far, most of the information has come from media reports rather than official sources. Second, pay attention to any changes in Andre Onana's situation. If United are serious about bringing De Gea back, they might start exploring options for their current goalkeeper. Third, watch De Gea's performances and comments in his remaining time at Fiorentina. Any hints about his future plans could provide clues about whether this transfer will happen. Questions that need answers. This potential transfer raises several important questions that will need to be answered before any deal can happen. Would De Gea be willing to return to United in a potentially reduced role, or would he expect to be the undisputed number one? How would United handle having two expensive goalkeepers on their books? What would this mean for the development of younger goalkeepers in United's academy? These practical questions are just as important as the emotional and tactical considerations surrounding any potential return. The fan perspective, what really matters? At the end of the day, Manchester United fans just want what's best for their club. Whether that means bringing back David De Gea or sticking with Andre Onana, supporters will judge the decision based on results. If bringing De Gea back helps United win more matches and compete for trophies, fans will be happy regardless of any concerns about the decision-making process. Football is ultimately about success on the pitch. However, if the move doesn't work out or creates problems within the squad, fans will question whether it was the right choice. The pressure will be on everyone involved to make sure any potential reunion is successful. Conclusion. A story still being written. The possibility of David De Gea returning to Manchester United is one of the most intriguing transfer stories of recent times. It combines emotion, nostalgia, practical considerations, and genuine football quality in a way that captures the imagination. Whether this reunion actually happens remains to be seen. Transfer rumors don't always become reality, and there are many factors that could prevent this deal from going through. However, the very fact that it's being seriously discussed shows how much both De Gea and Manchester United mean to each other. Sometimes in football, the best stories are about coming home. For now, we'll have to wait and see how this fascinating tale develops. Will David De Gea return to Old Trafford as a hero coming home? Or will he continue his career elsewhere while United fans wonder what might have been? Whatever happens, this story reminds us why we love football so much. It's not just about tactics and transfers. It's about emotion, loyalty, and the connections between players, clubs, and fans that last far beyond any single match or season. At Unite United News, we'll continue following this story and bringing you all the latest developments as they happen. Because when football produces stories this compelling, someone needs to tell them properly. Stay tuned for more updates, analysis, and breaking news from the world of football. After all, in a sport full of surprises, you never know what incredible story might unfold next.